Obviously, he's able to control his emotions. He plays it as it should be. It's a game. That's how he plays it. He grew up in Puerto Rico. He played a lot of baseball as a youth, played a lot of winter ball. He's been taught properly and well. And when he goes out there, man, you saw him before the game sitting on the bench. I saw him waving into the camera. He's just being himself, and I love that. I love everything about that because when he goes out there, he's not afraid of making a mistake. And that's the big thing. When you get players that are in mass, not concerned about making mistakes, really good stuff can happen. And he leads the pack with that.
And right here to the left.
Yes.
Joe, you talked about, taking things through the process and not thinking too far ahead, but what was it like when you guys got the double play to end it, and is it different than what you expected?
It's one of those things that it's everything you think it is, but then again, you need time to really process the entire situation. You stand out on that platform afterwards, you're looking at the ballpark and the fans and the W flags everywhere. And truthfully, I do think about everybody. I think about the fans and their parents and their grandparents and the great-grandparents and everything that's been going on here for a while. So you think that. I think about my coaching staff. My coaching staff gets to go to the World Series. From a financial perspective, that's great for coaches because baseball coaches on the major league level don't really make that much money. People don't realize that. So I think about them and their families. All these things come to your mind. I think of my wife, Jay, my kids, my mom back in Pennsylvania, my dad who wasn't here. Those are the kind of things you think about in that particular moment. And it's overwhelming and it's awesome.
And again in the center just left.
Yes.
Joe, this was a 2-hit ball game.
Yeah, it was.
You said this was one of your best played ball games this year. What does that say about in a clincher like this?
Well, that's my point. I mean, we had a tough start with this series. They're up 2-1, and then all of a sudden a bunt turns the whole thing around. And then we got out of that one inning with Montgomery. We took out John Lackey and almost got out of it clean, but on the double play ball that went off the glove. But that's a big moment, holding the lead right there. So to me, those are the two seminal moments. Probably is the bunt and that particular play where it goes a ground ball to short. We didn't make the play, but we get out of the inning only giving up 2 runs. Those are really big moments in this series, I think. But yeah, I mean, listen, before the game, our guys were fine. In a dugout, our guys were fine. They look the same to me all the time. I really anticipate and expect us to play the same kind of game moving forward. I mean, it's World Series, absolutely. It's the grandest stage, but I don't want our guys to change a thing. Our prep's not going to be any different. It'll be optional batting practice like there was today. I don't want any more work. I don't want extra study. I want us just to do what we normally do we have to stay, maybe we haven't played Cleveland. So that's one thing that might require a little bit more attention. But after that initial study moment, then I just wanted to get back to normal.
And over here to the left back, Tim.
Joe, I was actually going to ask about what was going through your mind as the double play happened. You answered that. But I will ask, over the last hour or so, has there been an embrace, some words exchanged that really have stuck with you, like till now? As one of the guys on the team, a coach, a GM, anything that has been something to you?
Honestly, it's just we've all been congratulating one another. It was very special to me to be on the podium out there with Mr. Ricketts and Jed and Theo and Crane. I mean, that's for them to have the faith to bring me in here to do this is it's pretty phenomenal. I mean, the conversations getting here and then the work we've done together and it's really wide open. There's wide open communication, and like I talked about before the game began, they're different because they're able to process the new methods as well as the old methods, and that's what I think sets them apart, and that's part of why I really enjoy working with them as much as we do. So that was special being up there, really special looking into the crowd. When you're on that moment up front like that, and you just look around and you look out at the bleachers, and that's kind of one of those surreal things right there that you really want to slow it down and really try to take a mental snapshot so you don't forget that. The tendency is when you get to these moments, things happen too quickly. And the smart thing to do, I think, is just really, like our players, that just slow the moment down and really, really enjoy it because it is that special.
Can we go to the right standing?
Joe, I know you talked about the bunt play, but you're down 2-1 in the series. Guys aren't hitting. I mean, was it all just a bunt play that turned around, or what turned this series around?
Well, Zobrist gets on, and then right after that, Javi, one hand hit, Contreras a blooper, and then I think we get a ground out score with Jason, and then a homer. I mean, it really, it's amazing when you're in that tight of a situation They had a young pitcher going too, so you put a little pressure out there, and it could just start with the bunt. It could just, all of a sudden there's a base runner, my thought process changes, not knowing how long I'm going to be out here. All this crazy stuff goes through your mind. So it is that simple. That's the butterfly effect right there. It was a bunt this year.
And a couple more for Joe to the back.
Joe, what
Yes.
impressed you about the way that Kyle pitched today?
That he was able to pitch typically. The command. I mean, when Kyle doesn't walk people and he is commanding the edges and not getting in bad counts, he gets the worst count I want to see him get into is a 2-1 count. He's still really able to wiggle out of 2-1 counts really well. The 3-1s and the eventual the walks, that puts a lot more pressure on him to make even better pitches. So when he's doing what he did tonight, primarily hitting his spots, not walking people, keeping it at 2-1, 2-2. I don't even know how many 3-ball counts. He didn't have many tonight. That's what I was watching, and you could see the reaction. Their swings were not good. Again, one of his strong points is to elicit weak contact, and that's what he did again tonight.
And over here to the left, David.
Joe, on the field, minutes after you guys had accomplished something that hadn't been done here in 70 years, almost to a man, a lot of guys were saying, we still have 4 more wins to go. And they talked about embracing the target. Are you just glad that they've managed to latch on to that, or are you surprised that they so quickly focused on that again?
Not at all. Like I said, we have you saw a lot of young guys on the field for us tonight, but the veterans in that clubhouse are spectacular. They keep them focused on all of these things. I mean, David Ross isn't here just for a pat on the back. John Lackey already said he didn't come out for a haircut. That was the line? Lester's been there, done that before. So these guys, they're not just satisfied by getting to this point. We want to win this whole thing. And so they're the ones that do a great job of keeping the younger players mentally in line, because I don't say anything. One of the reporters asked me in the scrum in there, and I said, no, I didn't say anything to anybody. I can only hurt them, right? I cannot help them. I mean, maybe it's something like, talking about hitting or, maybe a pitch selection kind of thing, but not to give any kind of rah-rah speech. I would only screw things up right now.